Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to a end of the year edition of the Mistresses of Mind shift, and I guess shifting of when the shift hits the fan, making it better. My name's Mark Jeffrey, and I'm here once again with my beautiful co-host Linda Lehman. Hey, Linda.
Hey, Mark. What an awesome day.
It certainly is, and today we're going to this is our end of the year, things that, we kind of think about and how we move from one space to the other. And we really haven't done this before, just a special show to talk to you guys about, saying thank you and goodbye to the year previously and saying hello. And for us, I know some people, and we have to acknowledge this, so I guess we'll kind of start off here. Linda, some people, they probably, they didn't have the best 2015.
No, you're right. I've seen and heard many people say, boy, am I glad this year is almost over, or boy, am I glad that I don't have to relive 2015. And it discourages me a little bit because there's such a wonderful and different way to look at it that will actually make or help make the next upcoming year even better.
Mhm. And everything, and it's hard. We'll give you that. It's hard when things are not going your way to think, well, what kind of lesson am I learning from this? How do I take whatever has come my way and use it? Because that's the thing, Linda. First off, people, that's the first intention, the first thing you want to do is when bad things happen to us or things that are not desirable, we want to throw them away. But sometimes, what's that, throwing the baby with the bathwater or something? That's, yeah. Sometimes that's what it's like. And then you just repeat it because you never took the time to analyze it.
Right.
And I'm going to say analyze it rather than learn from it, because there are some things that you don't want to learning to me, sometimes people, oh, that's school, and I don't like learning. So, we have to talk in different variables, I guess, so that it's more, appealing?
Yeah, analyze is more appealing. I like the word reflect. Let's reflect on it. Let's sit down and reflect on what happened. And even, if you had a lot of garbage going on, set a timer and give yourself an opportunity to reflect on all of that. You may even relive some of the feelings, but reflect on it from the standpoint of, and I know you don't probably want to hear this, of looking for the good in it. And here's a really good reason why to do that. It's kind of interesting as we think back or reflect back on different things in our life that happened. Sometimes things repeated themselves over and over and over again. It felt like we were reliving the same experiences, bad experiences in our mind over and over again. And maybe, just maybe, it's because we didn't look for the good in it or the lesson in it. Because realistically, the only way we're going to really find that lesson is to live through it and then look for it. It's like, what did I learn from this? And maybe that's not even the right word, learn again. Maybe it's grow. How did I grow by going through this? How did I grow as a person?
Yeah. It's we just beat ourselves up too much as human beings, okay? So you lose a job and it's all your fault. Or a relationship breaks down, it's all your fault. We really tend to point too many fingers at us when maybe there should only been the thumb.
Right.
And we look at it as bad things. And there's just too much philosophy out there that really does not support that analogy for people. Because most of the time, once you get, and we know this, once you get through it, you end up looking at it with better perspective. Like, for instance, you get out of a relationship and you're hurt, and because it wasn't your choice perhaps, and you're, for a period of time, or you lose somebody through death, right? And of course, you keep looking for, well, how could I have done, what did I see the signs, blah, 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 blah. It's always human nature to do that. But instead, like, just allowing that time, because someone else will come along and you'll go, oh, this is who I've been waiting for all my life. Or perhaps you're someone who doesn't need a mate to have a great life. I get asked that a lot. Well, why aren't you with somebody? It's not me. It's not, I've made my life in a different way. So I don't stack up my life. And Linda and Randy have an amazing marriage, and I appreciate that. It's not something for me. Mm-hmm. So, why would other people want to put you in a box. And I guess my whole perspective on this, Linda, is I think people get hurt more by what other people think they should be doing than what's really in their soul and what they want to do. And having the strength to stand up and say, no, I'm bloody happy as I am. Thank you all very much.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's part of expressing gratitude for the day, for the year that's happened, and telling it goodbye. Is that, okay, I'm saying goodbye not only to the year, but maybe some old self-sabotaging habits that I've been in. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make this next year something brand new, and it's going to be all about me. Actually, I did that in 2015 when I was thinking about what I wanted to accomplish. I really focused on one of my goals I wrote down or intentions was focusing more on things that made me feel good. And in doing that, to reach that goal, I was, quote, forced to disregard the well-intended opinions of other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because if it didn't feel good to me, I didn't do it.
Yeah, but and we all look for acceptance, because for the most part, we weren't bred confident. And that's the only way I can say that, is that although, I think as generations go by, we get better as parents of doing this. But I know my parents and many of the people that are in and around my age, our parents were very protective. Mm-hmm. And so it was, they were always putting up fences to, your own prosperity, because they were afraid, because they weren't born of that. Now, our generation really wanted to break through everything. So, it was just like a mess for the most part, because it's like, putting confines on an animal in a box and then letting them go and say, look, the whole Wild West is all about you. And so there wasn't constraints or, anything. A lot of positive came from all of that. A lot of positive changes in the world. If people go back, it wasn't that long ago that women weren't even allowed to vote. We think, oh, well, that was many, hundreds of years ago, and it really wasn't.
Right. Exactly.
We've gone past a lot of really great things, but I think if we scale that back, just like you said, Linda, to our own personal well-being, and we say this every show, every time, you can't help anyone else if you're not helping yourself first. If you're not a healthy, happy person, you can't take that to your children, your spouse, your friends, your workplace, your business, whatever it is. If you're miserable, it's just going to be reflected in everything that you get back. Mm-hmm. So being a little bit selfish, like, what is it going to take to make you happy? I think that's the question I'm going to ask for everybody moving into a gorgeous 2016. What are the things that I require in my life to make me happy? And then for the 2015 part, what do I have to throw out?
Right. right? What garbage do I need to take to the curb and never look at it again? And actually, it's kind of fun to do that, because if you can picture cleaning out your closet. Now you make these great efforts. You just feel good about it one day, so you go into your closet and you clear out a whole bunch of space, a whole bunch of clothes that don't fit. You've been saying you're going to fit back into them for 5 years. It's time to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you clean out your closet and you throw that to the curb. But now you have all of this wonderful space to fill it back up again with things you really like, and things that you can wear and things you can use, things that support you. So, okay, we do this with material items. It's time to really take care of you. Let's clear the mental garbage out, the things that don't serve you, the thinking, the thoughts that don't serve you, the way of being or feeling sorry for yourself that doesn't serve you. Clear that out, and you can kind of visualize this like you're clearing out a closet. Open that closet in your mind and clear out all of those things that were not working for you in 2015. Tell them, you know what, thanks, it's been a great ride. I appreciate you being in my life. It's time for you to move on. Bag it up in a garbage bag and throw it out to the curb. And then look at your nice, beautiful, shiny, clean closet and say, okay, if money and circumstances and education and timing were of no consequence, what kind of awesome things for me would I put in this closet now? And start putting those things in that closet in your mind.
Mm-hmm. You know, and you can't do this. You can't put them in the garbage bag and then leave them by the back door thinking, well, maybe I'll need to go back there and get something. Right?
Oh, no.
Because people do that all the time. Even when they're cleaning out their real closets, they put everything in the bag to go to Goodwill or whatever, and then it's, oh, I'll leave this in the bedroom just in case I change my mind and I need something out of there. No, you got to really tie that sucker up and get it out of the house.
Right.
And never look back again.
You can even visualize it, helping them put it on the garbage truck if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever visualization you absolutely need to make sure it's gone, because human beings always want to run back to what's familiar. It was really funny because I talked about this a while ago, is that we don't, for the most part, our natural instinct is not actually to survive. If it was, we'd be doing much better in life, because we would then understand that in order to survive, to be happy, I require these things. But human instinct has evolved to where we go to is what's familiar.
Mm-hmm.
That's
even
where
if
we
bites big.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. We go back. That's why women stay in abusive situations. Other people don't understand it. That's not good for you. How could you do that? It's not like something's binding them there, but they'll come up with 1,000 different reasons why. It's because it's familiar. Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part for human beings. If our natural instinct was to survive, we wouldn't be doing half of the crazy things that we do. So moving into that space is a better space to be. And I'll give you all of that. I know. That's why we wear out our shoes. You got that comfortable pair of shoes. They look like crap now. You shouldn't even be let out of the house with them, but you do because they're comfortable, or that raggedy sweater or whatever it is, right? We are creatures of comfort and familiarity, and that has to change.
Yeah, it does. And it's really exciting when you make the decision to go through that metamorphosis, if you will. Like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Mm-hmm. When you make the decision to do that, and to clear all of that clutter, and look at the change, because people say, well, I don't want to change. Instead, say, I would like to go on a grand adventure. So instead of a change, you're going to go on an adventure. And when I think of an adventure, I think of doing things I've never done before. Like in Peru, when we went paragliding, Never done that before. When I learned to scuba dive, I'd never done that before, but I did it, and I was looking at it as a grand adventure. So why not some of the growth things that I want to implement into my life, some experiences that I want to experience, why not call those adventures instead of change?
Mhm. Yeah. It's all perspective.
Mhm.
And the time to change your perspective is now. I'll jump ahead here a little bit. Is I don't really have resolutions. I've never really done that. I think I've done it in the past because somebody told me you had to, so I'd make something up. But I had no heart in it at all. But I make plans. I make plans, big plans, and I write them down, and I decide when they're going to happen. And on January 1, what's going to happen on that day for this year. I do have plans, but I don't resolve, because I think resolve is kind of I don't know, it's a no commitment word to me. It's just like, well, what does that mean? And it's funny because you can ask people that. Well, I'll resolve to lose weight. Well, what does that really mean? Like, what is the plan, Stan?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I'll maybe get a gym thing, or I'll look into new nutrition, or there's no intentional plan behind the resolution. And I know some people roll it into one, Linda. I know some people understand what that is, but they're really not resolving anything either. They're actually making a plan.
Exactly. And when you start making your plan, continue to ask yourself why. Like the person who wanted to lose weight. Why? Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I feel like I'm 50 pounds overweight. Why? Well, because I'm uncomfortable. Oh, why are you uncomfortable? Because my clothes don't fit. So the real desire is to feel comfortable in your clothes. It's not to lose 50 pounds. It's to feel comfortable in your clothes. From there, then you can make a plan. What is it going to take for me to feel comfortable in my clothes? I had somebody I was talking to a couple weeks ago, I guess it was, and she admitted to me, she said, I'm not a goal setter. I don't set goals. And Mark, I think that sometimes when you use the word goals, sometimes people cringe. I know I kind of did for a long time because I don't know. I guess at some place in my school years, we had to go through an exercise, and it just wasn't presented well, and it was kind of hokey. So what I asked that person instead was, well, ask yourself the question, what do I want to experience? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and you've said this before. Think about the end. Keep the end in mind. What do you want to experience? How do you truly want to grow, and what do you want to contribute? Think about those things, and that gets kind of exciting. Again, that goes back to the adventure part. You start writing those down, and then when you're making your plan, it becomes very easy to say, okay, if this is what I want to experience, like, for instance, visit the Greek, I want to take a vacation to the Greek islands. Okay. Then you can start kind of planning. All right, well, in 2016 I want to do this, so what is it going to take? And then you start jotting down and thinking logically about what you can think of right now. What is it going to take for me to take this vacation to the Greek islands in September of 2016? And you have the end in mind, and you back into that.
Yeah, it's really funny. As you were talking, I reminded me of a bank manager. One person that I think in my professional life I've respected more than anyone, for a couple of reasons. But I was starting this business, and I had to, come up with the prospectus, right? You have to do all that and then get it to the bank, because I, at that time, didn't want to use my money or hawk anything I had. I wanted to distance myself, because here I was thinking, well, if the business is a failure, I don't want to be underneath it, right? Well, how stupid way to start that was. But that's how I was thinking at the time. So it was funny because I spent hours and hours and days putting this together and using all my lawyerly words and looking real smart on that paper. And I took it into this bank manager and she threw it in the garbage. She didn't even look at it. But that's what she said to me. She said, okay, well, what are your goals? And I'm going, oh, that kind of stopped me in my tracks because I'm sitting there. The first thing that came to mind, and I'm one of those top of mind, open your mouth, weird stuff sometimes comes out. But I said, well, to make money, of course, to be successful, of course. But she backed me up there. Well, what's your plan on doing that? And I'm going, and I said to her, well, I did put it in the prospectus. And she goes, no, I want to know on a personal level how invested you are in this. Oh, little different story there, Marky Poo. You better come up with something fast. And, but that's the way I understood something. As she backed me up into these things, she said, well, okay, if that's too much to bite off, what's the first thing you're going to do once you get this money in your hand? What's the most important thing do you believe for your business would be? And, there's just a series of questions and by the end of it, she goes, well, I believe that you're going to be a success then. Here's your money. And I'm going, okay. Because I did have all the answers on a personal level I had a dream. I knew what it looked like, but I didn't put that in the prospectus. It was all money. This part of equipment is this, and buying stuff from China is that, and that didn't matter to her. It's like, how invested was I in the outcome? And I think that changed my life dramatically. And I was quite young. I was just out of law school, ran my dad's company, but I mean that wasn't mine either, right? No invest there. If I lose the money, okay, whatever, it's his money. But this was everything to me, and I wasn't looking at it in that perspective. And I thought about something at that time, late at night while I was cutting, clothing for the next orders, that I really don't put much effort into my life. Like, I don't plan it. Really, I get up and I just do the next day. And luckily for me, the next day turns out to be pretty darn good. And I didn't have the appreciation I needed for it. I didn't have the intent for it. I can say, for the most of my life, I've just been a lucky kitty cat. But I learned in that experience that when I come up against something, I go right back to what those questions she asked me, and the questions we ask of you, all of you, and the questions we ask of ourselves as we take on each day and each endeavor. What does it really mean to you?
Right.
What does it really mean? Are you doing it for somebody else? Are you, doing it because other people are doing it? I mean, we see a lot of failure, right, Linda, in the online business. I mean, that's the most dangerous playground I know to destroy people's confidence and lives.
Oh, exactly, Mark. And you're right. It all boils down to how much it means to you. If you're doing it because it's expected, or you're doing it, you think your answer is you're doing it for the money, you're right, you're going to fail. Because money is just energy. It's a medium of exchange for products and services. So what are you going to do with the money? What does owning your own business mean to you? What does being the president of a division of a major corporation mean to you and your life? What does that look like, smell like, feel like, taste like?
And is it for you?
Yeah.
Is it for you? I mean, I think that's how people here's what happened to me. The company that I actually bought, okay, was one I was working for, and they went bankrupt. And other people, not me, because I really hadn't thought of it previous to this. I was just going to go look for another job or do something else. And I was their operations manager, legal consultant. Okay, so we'll start there. So I knew all about the business, and I knew long before that they had no idea how to run a business. One had a creative idea, and one was the husband. Okay, so like they were just, it wasn't going to work from day one. And I didn't see that opportunity because I saw all of the crap, okay? That's what I saw as being that person. But the other people who were friends of mine and people who bought the product and that, they saw the opportunity to, purchase this company at, dollars, pennies on the dollar, because, it was going to go to receivership and auction and whatever. It wasn't my dream. And here's what's interesting happened. Okay, I was committed because of who I am as a person. My internal DNA, I wasn't going to fail. I was just not going to happen. But all of those other people whose dream it was, they went away. They just thought it was a great idea, but they had no intention towards it. Right? They just wanted to buy the product, I think, if ever I got it off the ground. But they were all, yeah, go and do it and go and do it. But when it came down to like lay down the money or lay down the time or do all this other stuff, it's like, hello? Anybody there? And so I drove past it where, because of me not accepting a failure, I had invested my money. The quick turnaround would have been just to put it back up on auction and then get my money and walk away from it, right? But as I analyzed it, I took a really good look at it, I thought, you know what? This is something I could probably do with the right people on board. And that's when I started writing that 18 gazillion page prospectus. But here's the thing. You have to look at everything. Is it your idea to do it, or somebody sucked you into their dream? I drove all the way around that, but that's the whole thing.
And that's such a wonderful lesson, Mark. So, when we say, hello, gorgeous 2016, you can look at 2016 and say, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me.
Yep.
In other words, what do you want? What do you desire? What adventures do you want to take? How do you want to grow? What garbage do you want to clean out? And it may be different than somebody else's.
Yep. So we got to say goodbye to all of the things. Those are lessons I learned. So I've just given you some examples of things, the bigger things in my life. Okay, the things that could have really taken me down if I didn't put my intention behind it. But now it's to now sit there and look at the new year as that opportunity, like Linda said, the adventure coming up, not dragging anything from 2005 into it. And I'll admit this, you may have to go back and grab something that you learned from 2015 that's going to serve it into 2016 at some point, but not the stuff that we already threw out. That's all. If I give you anything as a something to live your life on, I don't even take things from day to day into the next day unless I absolutely need them for something. So I don't know. I guess for my analogy, I'm going to leave everybody with this one, Linda. It's like you're going on a hike and you got to go up a mountain, and you have put 30,000 pounds in your knapsack because you think you need all this stuff. What if it rains? What if it does this? What if it does blah, blah, blah? Well, all the what ifs go into your backpack. So, you go 100 yards and you're going, okay, this is a little heavy. So now you have to reanalyze it, right? You have to look and say, okay, well, what really do I need? So you throw a couple of things out, right? And they're sitting at the end of it. And you go another 500 yards or whatever. And, that's getting a little heavy. You're starting on the incline. So again, it's the same analogy as the closet. But I like the weight of it. Like the weight that's holding you down and how great you feel, the same way that you look at, like I do. I love cleaning out my closet because I can go shopping. I just fill it right back up again with new stuff. But the weight of all those things that you carry around that you do not need, the what ifs, what if not? What if it never happens? So why bother? And then if it does happen, go to the store and buy something new.
Exactly.
Get a new perspective, right? Google it.
Exactly. What if it works out well? You know, that's probably my advice for 2016. Instead of saying, what if it goes wrong? What if it fails? Instead, what if it works out exactly the way I envision it or even better? What if it works? So if you have to do what if it works?
Yeah, what if it works? You know, and how amazing that would be. It's like what we're saying right now. Hello, gorgeous 2016. You are so beautiful. You are so amazing. I just cannot wait to meet you. I mean, that to me is how I want to walk into this. That's why we put it here today. It's like goodbye and hello, baby.
Love it.
Yeah. So from what I want to express my gratitude to everyone who has joined us on this journey this past year. We have got some crazy amazing things coming up in 2016 that we can't wait to share with you. You'll be seeing a little bit of that very, very soon. And just thank you. Thank you for taking this ride with us. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And I also want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for coming along on this ride with us and for helping us learn and grow with your questions and your comments. And they've certainly taken us in some different directions than what we had planned. But again, this is all for you. And I'm so grateful for it because we've learned and grown along the way with you. So thank you for an amazing 2015. And as Mark said, come on, gorgeous 2016. We can't wait.
We cannot wait. And if you want more information or you need some help, then go to whentheshiftHitsTheFan.com. And you'll find a lot of great information there. And keep your eye there because that's where we're going to house our new stuff. So thank you, everybody, and good day. Happy New Year, and thanks to 15, I guess.
Happy New Year.